This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai. This is a video that is for the entirety of Week 18, the final week of the regular season. There are no Thursday night football games, nor is there a Monday night football game. We simply have two games you see on screen for Saturday, and we have the rest on Sunday. They kind of make everything as close as possible because there's a lot of potential playoff scenarios. Except for this year, there's only really 1.5 playoff scenarios. It's just who's going to get the last spot in the AFC. Is it going to be the Dolphins, which of course they're going to make it, right? Or the Bengals, or the Broncos. Every other team is already locked in for the playoffs, and they're just playing around to figure out what seed goes to what team. As you can see, I'm back in the main office here. We had some, six-ish, 7-ish days up in Ohio visiting in-laws for the holidays. That was a good time. And yeah, I have... If you've been paying attention to the YouTube channel by now, and you're in the Discord, which you should be, I've already dropped a ton of stuff within the first 48 hours of 2025. We're taking over in 2025. There's a lot of companies out there that are probably going to get shut down because we are doing so much more than them. That being said, we have 2 new tools we launched last night. You will see them on desktop. If you're on desktop, you can go down from predictor and it says props comparison. On team, you can go down to where it says odds comparison. Those are 2 brand new tools. You can go to those tools like you normally would any other tool, and there's a button up top. Click how to use this. Go to those tools, click that, watch the quick videos, learn how to use them. They are going to be extremely helpful to you to make sure that you are finding the best lines and the best odds possible within a millisecond. So those are things we've been wanting to add for a while, and we're happy that we did. What else? Oh, if you're on your mobile device, the mobile app, instead of having it up here at the top, because you know there's no top menu on the mobile app like that, it's in the bottom left. So in the bottom left, when you want to go to the predictor, you make it say player. When you want to view the team tools like the money line predictor, the spread predictor, you change it to team. But now there's a third option down there in the bottom left of the app. It's comparison. You tap on that, and then you have the 2 options. You either get the best props via the props comparison or the best odds from the odds comparison. So take some time to learn how to use those, because it will make you a lot more money by winning a lot more often by finding the best lines possible. Anything else in the new stuff? Oh, I dropped a video for you guys yesterday on YouTube. It is top 5 proven tips what's the title? Top 5 proven tips to turn $100 into $100,000 in 2025. It is extremely important for you, your future, your family, for you to watch this video in its entirety. Do not fast forward, do not skip around. You click the play button, you're locked in, don't have like 10 other TVs on playing something. Lock in, watch this video, and I guarantee you, you will win more and lose less than if you didn't watch this video in the first place. So, if you're actually going to take betting more serious in 2025, watch that video. Watch the video. It's literally the thumbnail of it on YouTube just says 100 to 100,000. It's got a little smiley face with like tongue sticking out with the $ eyes. It's the most recent video before this one. Watch that video. It will change. It'll make your 2025 a whole lot better than your 2024. But you have to do everything that video says. You have to follow all of the guidelines. The only people that don't have success with PlayerProps.ai are the people that don't follow all of the guidelines. They either follow none of the guidelines or they cherry pick and only do 1 or 2 of the 5 guidelines. But everybody that's all 5 guidelines have success, which is why we're growing so exponentially, because there's actually people out there that want to win more than they lose, so they listen and they follow all the guidelines. If you want to lose less than you did in 2024, watch that video. For this video, I'm going to find 2 plays, of course, because we're combining the entirety of Week 18. We're going to first look at Saturday, find something sexy, and then we're going to look at Sunday's games as well. So we have a lot of new things that we've added over the course of the last December. We added so many things to this app. We have the filter option here. This used to say U and O, but we have more space here now on mobile and desktop, so we changed it to under and over in case people didn't know what U and O meant. There's only 2 games here, but we're going to go ahead and do our trifecta filter regardless. For receiving and rushing yards, you know that we always do 40 minimum. So we click apply, so we know that everybody we see here has a line of 40 or higher for receiving yards. I'm going to go an extra step further, and I'm going to make it where the accuracy is at least a coin flip of 50% or higher. I don't want to see anybody that has lower than that. So, because we have this amazing new filter feature, every single player that we're going to see on our screen has a line of 40 or higher and has an accuracy, AI accuracy of that player plus that stat of receiving yards of 50 and higher. Now, if you are tuning in for the first time or it's been a while since you tuned in, please click this button. Click to learn how to use the prop predictor. It goes over all of these numbers, what they mean. This video is just simply us teaching you really quick. If you're using the tool today by yourself, this is what your brain should be doing. This is what your eyes should be doing. This is what your hands should be doing in the clicking around and finding the best play. But to actually go in depth on every single number and what everything means, we have this lovely button up here just for you guys. If you haven't clicked that, you shouldn't be using this tool. Don't guess on what you think the tool is telling you. Click the button, learn what the tool is telling you. So, that being said, we now have the minimum line of 40. We have the minimum accuracy of 50. Zay Flowers is up top. His projection is about just under 6.0 more than his line, and it gets even worse as we go down. George Pickens has a pretty decent accuracy, but his line's only like 2.61 more than his projection's 2.61 more than his line, which isn't that sexy either. Jamar Chase's projection is relatively close as well, and then we get down to T. Higgins. So these are the only 4 players through those 2 games that have a line of 40 or higher and have an accuracy of 50% or higher. All of them are technically over. Like if we even go down here to T. Higgins, we still see that, I mean, it's like 0.28 higher, but still it's higher. But I mean, if we're looking for somebody, if we're going to the next thing we look at, and we're saying, okay, we want to see something that is, let's pay attention to past data maybe. There's more green for George Pickens than anybody else. It's got 60%, 60, 54, and 100. We can check FanDuel real quick here. See if there's anything else we like more on FanDuel. No, FanDuel doesn't have anything else that's different. Look at George again here. So his line's at 66.5, 67 on FanDuel. Oh, so you know that when we used to do this, we used to check the lines, right? Now we don't have to do that. We can just go to the props comparison tool. Let's go to Saturday the 4th. We're looking at for George Pickens, so we switch to the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game. We're at receiving yards. So here, as you see on screen, we have George Pickens. The line is 67.5. It's high. This green arrow means there's a higher line, and the red arrow means there's a lower line. So ESPN has the highest of 69.5. Then there's BetMGM. So it looks like BetMGM has the lowest. DraftKings has 66. FanDuel's got 55. So yeah, BetMGM's got 65.5. So that's how you use this amazing new tool to make sure that you are betting on the sportsbook that has the best line possible. And in this case, if you're doing George Pickens over receiving yards, you should be on BetMGM if it's available in your state. Not every state has every book, but a lot of the legalized betting states have most of these books. It's pretty dumb for you to be a sports book and to be in only one state. So typically you're trying to get as many states as possible. And it looks like, did this just update? I don't know. Oh, it looks like FanDuel. No, I don't know what just happened. It looks like it just updated. Or I think it just added the Bet Rivers line. So yeah, so make sure you use this before you lock in your bets so you're not shooting yourself in the foot. Because if you were looking at George Pickens and maybe you're like the people that say, oh, I only bet on FanDuel, I don't need to bet on anything else, it's just my preferred book, and you lock it in at 67.5, every single person that bet this on BetMGM, DraftKings, or Bet Rivers at 66.5 or 65.5, if he finishes with 67 exactly, all those people won and you lost because you weren't shopping for lines. That also means you didn't watch our 100,000 video that we dropped yesterday. Where tip number 2 was shopping for lines. I'm not in love. I'm not in love with that. So let me play around with something here. Let me go to 60, which is our prime accuracy, 60 and higher. So now it's not just a line of 40 or higher, it's an accuracy of 60 or higher. The AI has been accurate 85.7% of the time. 85.7% of the time, the AI has been accurate on Najee Harris receiving yards. That is crazy high. He's at 7.5, projections at 10. He hasn't hit this in his last 4 games. The times he has hit this essentially was when Jaylen Warren wasn't playing, and Jaylen Warren's been doing really good lately. Yeah, you see down here, Jaylen Warren's got now 21.5. Still a pretty decent accuracy. Let me search by difference again. 6.7. What? 6.7 is the lowest I have seen for any player. That means Elijah Moore never does what he's supposed to do. Almost never. You actually would be making profit if you do the opposite of what he's supposed to do based on the AI projection. I've never seen it that low. That is crazy. But yeah, let's go back here and make this 60 again. Freaking Elijah Moore. Man, that's what I really don't like about the short game slates. There's so few things to pick from. Maybe we'll just let's look at some other stats here. We really like receiving yards, but let's look at rushing yards. Oh, I still have those filters up. That's the issue. Let's change this real quick. I'm just looking at difference right now for stats to see if there's anything that's got a good difference. Let's look at passing yards. Yeah, there's like nothing. Maybe we'll just go solely on accuracy. The fact that he's only, I don't want to play Najee Harris. He's not done too well with receiving yards in his last 5 games. Is George Pickens it? I mean, they are playing for seed. Cincinnati's also playing to get into the playoffs. I feel like they might be passing a lot. He had 4 straight games of this until he versed Cleveland with the dud. And in Kansas City, the AI's favoring it, giving him a little 3 bonus there. The AI's been accurate on him 61.5% of the time, and we always look for 60 or higher. And the last time he versed Cincinnati was 12-1. So about a month ago, he got 74. Yeah, I think even though the projection's not as high, nowhere near as high as we want, it's only a 4% difference, everything else is checking the boxes. So this is not like a true trifecta, but I feel like I have some confidence because the AI accuracy is at 61.5. So yeah, I think... So what do we say? BetMGM had the lowest line? Yeah, so BetMGM has the lowest line of 65.5. So that is our... that's the official line that we're going with. So George Pickens over 65.5 yards. Now, with that being said, let's find a play for Sunday. So Saturday, George Pickens 65.5. Sunday games. Let's do the same thing. Now that we have a lot more, we can play with our filters a lot more because there's a lot more players. So the guy that pops up top, sorting by accuracy and having a minimum accuracy of 50 or higher, plus a minimum receiving yards line of 40 or higher, is the guy that we locked in on, what was it, Monday Night Football, and he crushed for us. So do we go back to the well? His projection's only 4.4% different. Let's sort by difference here. Garrett Wilson, we also played him recently as well, and he hit for us. 71.4% accuracy, which is really nice. He's got the biggest difference between the projection and the receiving yards. 71.4 is pretty high. What was the highest? 76. So yeah, Garrett Wilson is number 3. Jacoby Myers is number 2 on accuracy. And then Jameson Williams is number 1. But Garrett Wilson has the biggest difference. Jacoby Myers doesn't have that much of a difference, and his projection is actually less than 64.5. So maybe we go back to the well and we'll do Garrett Wilson again. The only reason we're not doing Jameson Williams again is because Garrett Wilson has a bigger bump between the line and the projection. So now that we know we want to do Garrett Wilson receiving yards, what do? We go to the player props comparison tool. We go to Sunday. We go to Miami Dolphins and New York Jets. Scroll down to Garrett Wilson. What's the lowest line we can get? It looks like the lowest line is 52.5, and you can get it on any 3 of these books. And then Bet Rivers has 53.5. So 52.5. And yeah. So what was the line we had again for George Pickens? 65.5? Let me go back and double check that. Pickens, yes. Pickens, 65.5. Lock that in. Pickens, 65.5. And then Garrett Wilson, 52.5. Those are what we lock in, ladies and gentlemen, for the whole kin caboodle for Week 18. What we're hoping is that not only both those hit, but the Broncos lose and the Dolphins win for the Dolphins to squeak into the playoffs. And then Tua's healthy. He comes back first round of playoffs and just goes on a tear and wins the Super Bowl, as the fantasy gods have and the betting gods have intended. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the new tools. Make sure, again, you do not lock in another bet until you watch that new video I dropped yesterday. It says the top 5 proven tips from turning $100 into $100,000 in 2025. It will change your life, and I won't just change your year. It'll change your life, but you have to follow all 5 of them. If you cherry pick, you don't care that you're losing money, and that's 100% on you. You can't use PlayerProps.ai how you want to, and if it's against our guidelines, and then blame PlayerProps.ai when you lose. You have to follow the guidelines. I created this tool. I teach you on a daily basis how to use the tool. If you turn a blind eye and you're like, screw it, I'm going to do what I want, I think I know how to use these, and you lose, that is on you. Stop losing all your bets because you're not paying attention. It's very easy. It's not rocket science. You just have to listen. Stop being stubborn and just listen. Lock those in for Week 18. We will see you guys in the Discord, which if you're not there yet, you're not going to win. You're not going to be a winning bettor this year. That's step number 3, I think. But yeah, good luck, guys.